Okay. So we now start the second session of the morning and the last session before lunch. So this session is about how the news agencies, how we can all benefit from new opportunities. And I think we've had a perfect introduction in the previous session. And I think if we think about what Nawc said from Sky News Arabia, we need to make sure that we move from being just simple news providers into being service providers. So I look forward to hearing from our colleagues from across the globe, and I think our first speaker from Africa as well today, to hear about how we can benefit from these new opportunities in this ever-changing media landscape in which we operate in. So we have, altogether we have 5 speakers, so I think we should move very quickly into the first speaker, and we'll take our first speaker from the Angolan news agency, Jose Chimoko. So please welcome Jose Chimoko.
Muchas gracias, buenos días a todos. Yo voy a hablar en español. Señor Presidente de Saudi Press Agency, ilustres representantes de agencias noticiosas mundiales, señoras y señores, en nombre del Consejo de Administración de la agencia Angola Press, de su presidente, el ingeniero Daniel Miguel Jorge, a quien represento en este foro, y en el mío propio, comienzo por agradecer la invitación que nos fue tan gentilmente formulada por la Agencia de Noticias de Saudi Arabia para participar en este Congreso Mundial de Agencias Noticiosas. Agradezco también la hospitalidad, el cariño y el tratamiento muy especial que nos han brindado desde que llegamos a la bella, acogedora y histórica ciudad de Riad. Distinguidos delegados, señoras y señores, estamos en este magno evento en representación de la agencia Angola Press, ANGOP, la agencia noticiosa oficial del Estado angoleño, cuyo capital es integralmente público. Angola, oficialmente República de Angola, es un país situado en la costa occidental de África, cuyo territorio es limitado al norte por la República del Congo y por la República Democrática del Congo. Al nordeste tenemos la República Democrática del Congo, también al este la República de Zambia, al sur la República de Namibia y al oeste el Océano Atlántico. Angola tiene una superficie total de 1.246.700 kilómetros cuadrados y una población de 20 millones de habitantes según estimativas de 2012. Angola fue una colonia de Portugal. Ascendió a la independencia en 11 de noviembre de 1975. La ANGOP, la agencia que yo represento aquí, fue fundada en julio de 1975, meses antes de la proclamación de la independencia del país. Comenzó a distribuir sus trabajos en forma de boletines noticiosos impresos. Su primer despacho telegráfico es del 30 de octubre de 1975, fecha que entró en la historia como su día oficial. De un pequeño núcleo de periodistas en 1975, la ANGOP está hoy en proceso de transformación en una gran empresa multimedia con la apuesta en los nuevos vehículos comunicacionales como la foto, el vídeo y el audio. El día 23 de agosto de este año, lanzamos la primera de 3 etapas del nuevo portal en sustitución de un otro que estaba online desde agosto de 2008. La tercera y última etapa experimental de este nuevo portal de la agencia fue concluida el día 30 de octubre en el marco de las conmemoraciones del 38 aniversario de la fundación de la agencia. El lanzamiento pela primera vez el lanzamiento del nuevo portal marcó el inicio de una nueva era en el proceso de evolución tecnológica de la ANGOP, apostada en proporcionar a sus usuarios mayor y mejor calidad del servicio informativo producido. La publicación por primera vez de contenidos en audio y video, la integración con redes sociales, la disponibilidad de una versión de información para dispositivos móviles y la distribución de una newsletter constituyen las principales innovaciones del nuevo portal de la agencia ANGOP, que puede ser encontrado en el sitio www.portalangop.co.ao. Con un layout baseado en una arquitectura que facilite el acceso a los contenidos, con colores más suaves, el nuevo portal reserva un espacio especial para las provincias con el objetivo de promoción de lo mejor que existe en sus territorios. Quiero decir que la ANGOP tiene 877 trabajadores, de los cuales 274 son periodistas. Entre los periodistas, 63 son mujeres. Administrativamente, Angola está dividida en 18 provincias, que por su turno están divididas en municipios y estos en comunas. La ANGOP está presente en las 18 sedes provinciales a través de representaciones de nivel de delegación. La agencia está igualmente representada en la mayoría de los municipios y en los municipios de mayor peso demográfico y económico tenemos representaciones de nivel de subdelegaciones. En otros recurrimos a corresponsales locales que, aún sin ser periodistas en su mayoría, nos ayudan a recoger información remitida a las delegaciones para el debido tratamiento periodístico. Nuestras metas a mediano y largo plazos van en el sentido de asegurar que todos nuestros corresponsales sean periodistas, lo que nos va a exigir un enorme esfuerzo financiero para la formación de cuadros y el aseguramiento de todas las condiciones técnicas y logísticas. Ilustres delegados, elegimos como centro de nuestra comunicación la forma como ANGOP recurre a las nuevas tecnologías en el proceso de recogida, tratamiento y difusión de la información regional, o sea, de la información producida a nivel de nuestras delegaciones, subdelegaciones y corresponsalías. En la trayectoria inicial, caracterizada por la distribución de noticias impresas, temprano la ANGOP transitó para el telex y el teléfono, y está hoy enteramente servida por la Internet a través de su portal, su principal vehículo de difusión de todo su material noticioso producido. Tenemos servicios en las lenguas portuguesa, inglesa, francesa y española. Para tener una idea de cómo las nuevas tecnologías están al servicio de nuestra agencia, tenemos como ejemplo un acontecimiento que ocurre en el municipio de Caconda, provincia de Huila. El corresponsal local recoge los datos informativos, hace su tratamiento periodístico y envía la noticia para la delegación de la ANGOP en la provincia de Huila, situada en la ciudad de Lubango. En casos muy especiales, dictados por la importancia del hecho y el tratamiento con la urgencia que merece, el periodista puede enviar para la delegación los datos en bruto de la información. En otros casos, también especiales, puede enviar directamente la información para la sede nacional en Luanda, la capital de Angola. Para el envío de esos materiales, el corresponsal recurre sobre todo a la Internet, pero también existen situaciones en que utiliza el teléfono. En la delegación provincial, el material es editado y enviado para la sede en Luanda. En la sede, vuelve a ser editado y codificado antes de ser inserido en el portal. En el pasado, esas informaciones ya llegaron a ser enviadas por cartas o utilizando portadores, situación hoy completamente fuera de hipótesis, fruto de la revolución permanente que se opera en las telecomunicaciones. Señoras y señores, todas las noticias provenientes de nuestras delegaciones provinciales entran en la red privada de la agencia a través de un correo electrónico de nuestro Exchange Server, que las encamina para un servidor de noticias que ha instalado el software de comunicación con Manager y las distribuye por la red intranet. A partir de ese momento, la información queda a disposición de cualquier periodista del área de información, con destaque para el Departamento de Redacción Nacional, que está dividido en desks por especialidad, donde las informaciones reciben el tratamiento final antes de ser insertadas en el portal. Resumiendo, tenemos, primero, email para transmisión de la noticia del punto original del municipio para la sede provincial y de esta para la sede nacional. 2. La noticia es recibida en el Exchange Server a través de un email asociado. 3. El Exchange retransmite para el servidor con el Com Manager instalado. 4. El Com Manager rediciona esas noticias para un news file donde los periodistas recogen la noticia para ser editada usando el front desk, que es un software especializado para tratamiento de noticias. Después de tratada, la noticia es encaminada para otro news file, donde es editada y codificada antes de ser insertada en el portal. Ilustres delegados, el gobierno de Angola está trabajando para lanzar los próximos años un satélite propio. Esse trabalho vendrá a complementar toda a infraestrutura que está construindo no domínio das telecomunicações, tales como a televisão digital terrestre em todo o território nacional, assim como a expansão da internet de banda larga. Assim sendo, a ANGOP vendrá a desfrutar de tecnologias novas de maior capacidade e expansão da área de cobertura para todo o país e o mundo, lo que nos permitirá o uso de teléfonos móveis e internet em zonas remotas do país, maior alcance de banda, assim como baixo custo de las comunicações. Senhores e senhoras, Angola está em um bom caminho no capítulo de las telecomunicações. Como o país em su todo, a agência Angola Press vislumbra um futuro de mais realizações em sua trajetória de garantizar a informação de Angola para Angola, de Angola para o mundo e do mundo para Angola. Muitas graças por vossa atenção.
Thank you very much, José. I'd now like to invite Luis Meilan to make the next presentation. Thank you.
Good morning. On behalf of our board, Prensa Latina News Agency, I'd like to thank the host news agency and all the organizers for the opportunity given us to be here, to bring you closer to Latin America and to allow us to come closer to the Arab world and all the nations and media present here. I will tell you a bit about our news agency And I remember we have been talking about the need for new products and the need to meet our customers' needs. We have had no choice. You may know that our region has always been facing crises, one after the other, and the media has been also hit by those crises. So the only solution in face of those crises have been working hard, making new products, and working harder to meet our customers' needs. In a matter of months, Prensa Latina, a Latin American news agency, will celebrate the 55th anniversary of its founding, although some thought and even predicted that it would survive only a few months. Headquartered in Havana, Cuba, with the passage of time, Prensa Latina has become one of the main sources of news for Latin America and the Caribbean. Our news agency was founded on June 16, 1959, in the midst of Operation Truth, launched by Cuban leader Fidel Castro and Commander Ernesto Che Guevara. Just 3 weeks after the triumph of the Cuban Revolution in January 1959, some 400 journalists from all over the world attended a meeting in Havana in response to a call to come and see the Cuban situation for themselves and contrasted with the media campaigns underway against the island. The meeting, known as Operation Truth, ended with an agreement to establish a news agency that would ensure coverage of events in the region with its own voice, reporting them in the language of those who make history in that part of the world. The initiative was supported by some 20 journalists, some of whom later gained international recognition, including the winner of the 1982 Nobel Prize in Literature, Gabriel Garcia Marquez from Colombia. All worked under the leadership of the Argentine Jorge Ricardo Massetti, the latter who witnessed the reign of terror under Cuban dictator Fulgencio Batista, also interviewed Fidel Castro and Ernesto Che Guevara in the Sierra Maestra in the midst of the war for Cuba's liberation. Massetti wrote at the time, "We were born in Cuba because the Latin American Revolution was born in Cuba, and it is our mission to make a revolution in Latin American journalism." The name of the news agency was agreed upon in response to a proposal from Commander Che Guevara, who said it should be called Prensa Latina. Political figures and media from the region welcomed the initiative launched by the leaders of the Cuban Revolution. Salvador Allende, a Chilean senator at the time who later became president of his country, said that the birth of Prensa Latina was great news for Latin American countries, which know very little of one another. Prensa Latina aims to meet an urgent need for the entire continent, to report on our reality in a truthful manner, inspired by the sole interest of faithfully serving the peoples of Latin America. Wishing Prensa Latina success, the writer and former Venezuelan President Rómulo Gallegos expressed the hope that it would contribute to a dignified exercise of our people's freedom. Chilean poet Pablo Neruda wrote, "To monopolize copper is wrong. To monopolize oil, coffee, ships, wheat, worse. We want news stories from all over the world, above all, from our Latin American and Indian brothers and sisters." Almost 50 years after its founding, our news agency has not only survived, but is also expanding as it assimilates the latest reporting technologies. Fully aware of the challenge, Prensa Latina remains committed to its development and the fulfillment of the purposes for which it was established. Prensa Latina has offices in 30 countries, and although it's focused in events in Latin America and the Caribbean, it has gradually expanded its presence in other regions to ensure coverage of major world events. Prensa Latina releases a daily average of 400+ stories in Spanish, English, Portuguese, Russian, Italian, and French. Each of those services has its own website, in addition to a site in Turkish. Our news agency has a television department which releases news programs in several languages. Prensa Latina and Telesur, that would read Tele South in English, is based in Caracas, Venezuela, are working together to cover Brazil, China, Russia, and Egypt, with plans to expand the collaboration to 4 additional countries. We also provide radio services, including news programs, which are available to the world media. Our work includes photography, multimedia, and publishing services. Prensa Latina publishes 18 magazines, weeklies, and newspapers, both in Cuba and in other Latin American countries. Some of those include the weekly Orbi, World International News, Business in Cuba, a monthly, the Havana Reporter in English, Cuba International, a monthly, Medical Achievements, and Courier from Cuba. We have signed collaboration agreements with 46 news agencies and other international media. Prensa Latina is also a member of the Executive Secretariat of the Latin American Union of News Agencies, whose 3rd General Assembly we will host next year. Prensa Latina's funding comes from the sales of the following products: news services, photography services. Prensa Latina boasts a photography library ranked as one of the best in Cuba since 1959. Publishing services, radio and TV services. Publicity services and sale of publications. Distribution of books printed by Australia's Ocean Press Publishing House. Digital books, printing services, multimedia services. And these are our websites. Of course, I have been very brief, and I know that images tell much more than words, so what you will see now will tell you a bit more.
Diversos servicios que serán de su interés. Contamos con un servicio de corresponsalía con más de 150 periodistas ubicados en todo el mundo. Poseemos también una página web con más de 200.000 visitas diarias. Un amplio servicio fotográfico con imágenes del acontecer actual y un extenso archivo con más de 5 millones de imágenes desde hace 50 años. Prensa Latina posee un sello editorial, la mayor casa de publicaciones periódicas de Cuba, donde destacan negocios en Cuba con información y análisis sobre la actualidad económica nacional e internacional dirigida al sector empresarial. O el Havana Reporter, especialmente diseñada para los lectores de habla inglesa sobre el acontecer en la isla y el resto del mundo. Contamos con un departamento de radio, multimedia y la casa productora de televisión que realizan programas informativos, coberturas noticiosas, publicidad, documentales, mucho más del mundo audiovisual. Es Prensa Latina, todo un universo informativo al alcance de sus manos.
So now you know us better.
Thank you very much, Luis Mela. I'd now like to invite Alberto Hugo Emalde from Telam in Argentina to talk to us. Thank you.
Estimados colegas, tengan ustedes muy buenos días. Salamu alaikum. Es una inmensa alegría poder estar hoy aquí para intercambiar ideas, plantearnos también los nuevos desafíos y dialogar sobre la comunicación. En definitiva, creemos que estar acá es conocer y hacernos conocer, porque para eso también creemos sirven estos encuentros. Antes que nada, quiero agradecer, por supuesto, la hospitalidad de los colegas de Saudi Press, que nos han recibido con la amabilidad y el buen humor que los caracteriza. Muchas gracias por esta invitación, sinceramente. Hoy vengo a contarles sobre el nacimiento de un nuevo sitio web que hemos resuelto construir entre las agencias que integramos la Unión Latinoamericana de Agencias de Noticias. El sitio, que ha sido bautizado como ANSUR, Agencias de Noticias del Sur, esperamos poder presentarlo en sociedad en el mes de marzo del próximo año 2014. Creemos que ANSUR se convertirá en una herramienta fundamental en el camino de muchas de las cosas de las que hemos hablado y debatido en estos días aquí en Riad. En ese sentido, estamos más que seguros que este nuevo sitio web seguirá fortaleciendo los lazos de cooperación que logramos establecer e iniciamos las agencias de nuestra región hace 3 años en el congreso realizado en la hermosa ciudad de San Carlos de Bariloche, en la Patagonia Argentina, ciudad que muchos de quienes están hoy aquí, por lo menos así me lo han dicho, también la conocieron. Fue durante el 3er Congreso de Agencias de Noticias, el anterior congreso al que estamos desarrollando aquí y que presidía mi país, la Argentina. Pero ¿por qué quiero referirme a aquel congreso de hace 3 años? Lo hago sencillamente porque allá en Bariloche nos comenzamos a plantear en forma conjunta los desafíos que teníamos las agencias de noticias hacia el futuro y además frente a un mundo en constante cambio, como se ha dicho y como se ha visto. Subrayábamos por entonces los valores de la cooperación y del intercambio entre las agencias. Y hoy, a 3 años de Bariloche, me alegro que aquellas premisas no solo no se han olvidado ni se han cambiado, sino que se han ratificado aquí, en Riad, lo que me indica que estamos por el buen camino. Dicho esto, quisiera brevemente contarles algunos detalles operativos acerca de cómo funcionará el nuevo sitio de ANSUR. Una breve historia señala que las agencias latinoamericanas reunidas en Ulán acordamos en el último encuentro de Brasilia la creación de un sitio que pudiera reunir en una sola página web las noticias surgidas de nuestras redacciones. En ese sentido, resolvimos que cada agencia elegirá las 3 o 4 noticias principales de cada día de sus países y las enviará a un portal cuyo soporte técnico está elaborado por la agencia TELAM de Argentina, de la cual, como ustedes saben, soy director. En dicha página de ANSUR se podrán entonces ver, por lo tanto, las noticias principales de cada agencia en apenas un solo clic. Es decir, no habrá que ir a recurrir a cada una de las agencias de nuestra región para saber las principales noticias que están ocurriendo en nuestro extenso territorio. Está de más decirle que las redes sociales, Twitter, Facebook y las demás, también contarán con este servicio de ANSUR, es decir, ANSUR estará presente en estas redes sociales que tanto han generado, tantas cuestiones han generado y tantos cambios están generando en el mundo de la comunicación. En tal sentido, quiero hacer un paréntesis, justamente para referirme a esas nuevas plataformas existentes, de las cuales también hemos hablado aquí, y bastante, en estos días. Creemos nosotros que las agencias de noticias debemos nutrirnos de dichas herramientas y utilizarlas como otra forma de divulgación de nuestra tarea, y de hecho la mayoría de nosotros ya lo hacemos. Es impresionante, ya se ha dicho, el crecimiento de las redes en todo el mundo. Sería un grueso error no utilizarlas, no usarlas. Pero en este sentido, quiero decir, como periodista que soy, hace más de 30 años, que la tarea de las agencias de noticias no es ni será reemplazable por nada, por ninguna otra herramienta. ¿Por qué? Porque seguiremos siendo las agencias de noticias, aunque algunos pretendan que así no sea, la primera fuente de la noticia veraz, de la noticia comprobable, de la noticia seria. Podremos llegar más rápido o menos rápido que una red, pero nos creerán a nosotros, y ese es el valor agregado que tenemos las agencias. Estemos felices, señores y señoras, por ello, por tener ese valor agregado. Antes de finalizar, quiero contarles que en un documento aparte y en inglés les acerco a quienes les interese algunos datos que hacen al potencial de nuestra región, de Latinoamérica. Y en ese marco también explico un poco más en detalle el nacimiento de este nuevo sitio ANSUR. Aquí estará a disposición de quienes lo quieran llevar. Esta realidad que hoy vivimos en nuestro territorio, en Latinoamérica, donde en pocos años más seremos 500 millones de habitantes y en el que hemos construido colectivamente y en democracia una integración en todos los aspectos, nos llevó también a las agencias de noticias a querer sumarnos a este proceso, integrándonos, y aspiramos desde ahí a poder mostrar lo nuestro desde nuestra propia mirada. Es por eso que nació la ULAN y hoy nace el sitio web Ansur, porque creemos que es posible la cooperación, que es posible el intercambio, pero fundamentalmente porque estamos absolutamente decididos a llevar adelante la defensa irrestricta del rol de las agencias de noticias. En este camino estamos, y es lo que hoy les vinimos a contar. Muchas gracias por vuestro respeto y atención y hasta siempre. Nos vemos en Azerbaiyán.
Thank you very much, Alberto. I think it's great to hear that all of the work from the conference in Bariloche has produced such a good result, and we look forward to seeing the website in March of next year. Thank you. I'd now like to invite Tony Gillies, the Editor-in-Chief of the Australian Associated Press, to make his presentation.
Thank you very much, Clive. Thank you very much, and thank you very much also to the Congress for inviting me to talk about some of the things that AAP has been doing. It's truly an exciting time, and it's a really good time to be in this news business. And that's because reporting news has never been more exciting and more interesting or more challenging. And audience behaviour has changed dramatically, and as technology has changed, and as connectivity has improved. This has forced a seismic shift within our industry and has reshaped all of the things that we do and the way in which we do it. We no longer deliver news to a single point or to a timetable. This is really the new era of reporting, and it's an era of news on demand and news to share. It means that news editors and news producers must now think in terms of rises and falls in audience traffic and how users consume information on a multitude of devices. In an environment where news consumers demand that they be injected in the conversation, news people find themselves defending their ground in a world obsessed with speed of information delivery. Social networks can compete for attention in the news cycle. And of course, there's nothing new in continuous live television broadcasts of breaking news events, vision and commentary coming to us as it happens. But audiences have become completely mobile, and they now demand to snack on news around the clock, no matter where they are. So this fast fix of news facts is no longer enough. We're seeing more content streamed by publishers, much in the same way that news agencies have been doing so well for their subscribers for generations. So they're streaming news live. So here are some questions and challenges for all of us. What role should news agencies play in the delivery of news in this growing format? How do we move content even faster than we have without compromising quality or journalistic rigour? How do we commercialise live news streaming while protecting existing revenue bases? And how can we assist our subscribers to commercialise this changing trend in news? Well, wire agencies have been the fastest and most resourceful news gatherers and news presenters. It's in our DNA. At Australian Associated Press, we've argued that live news presentation for web, tablet, mobile devices is our business, and we must own this space. So during this presentation, I'm going to dissect live news streaming, show how it's produced or how AAP does it, and outline AAP's commercial strategy, and share with you some of the pitches we've made to our customers. So what is it? Well, live news streaming is the immediate and rolling account of a news event in words, pictures and video. And it's emerged as the most compelling way to tell a story online. News posts, images, video, facts are presented in a stream minute by minute. A judicious selection of commentary and social media observations can be included for context. These posts are shown in reverse chronological order, time-stamped and streamed to websites and mobile devices. And for us, it looks like this. We have a little panel at the top. What I'm showing you is the stream as our customers see it, and at the top we have a little at-a-glance panel which gives the audience an easy to grasp reference point to offer compelling reasons to stay tuned. Rolling coverage of stories and announcements that shape the news agenda. These are short posts. Then social media. It's a decluttered edit of popular platforms such as Twitter and Instagram, and these inclusions are only on the basis that these posts add something to the story. There are hyperlinks to source material. Photographs, they keep the audience engaged, and these can be followed by reporters, photographers and the like, and even the public, of course. We have fact boxes, and these snapshots deliver the backstory and context to these streams. Video from press conferences, from vision from reporters and photographers and videographers also add to this stream. And then we have pop-out one-liners that illuminate and amuse. So, to us, live news reporting is great journalism. It demands excellent observational skills, resourcefulness in the field, and resourcefulness at the desk. And it's about making sound news judgments on the run. Its journalistic rigour, its engagement and variety make it highly readable, and live news streaming is a world away from the sometimes unreliable social media. Because in this environment, rather than shouting, "Look at me," live news reporting says, "Look at the story, look at the facts." And as news agencies, we don't cut corners. We were there, we heard it ourselves, and we saw it happen. And this concept in itself speaks to the very heart of what news agencies do best. And so as news professionals, this is where you come in. We believe that the key to a successful live news delivery is in the curation platform. It must be easy to use by everyone, staff and customers. Now, there are several turnkey solutions available to publishers, for example, Scribble Live and Cover It Live, and there are others, but each have their merits. And if I may be candid, these are purely technical solutions provided by technology companies. And the most I've seen require the publisher to buy a license for those platforms or to even give up a share of their content revenue. So AAP has taken the view that our content is the key commodity here, and we're not about to hand that value over to a third party. So Australian Associated Press has created its own live stream curation tool, and we're very proud of it. We did this with live journalism at its core, backed by all those years of experience producing agency news in real time. AAP creates live streams using the work of its reporters, photographers, videographers and news producers. And these streams are hosted by AAP and provided to our customers using a simple embed code, so they can then take our feed and put those streams quite easily on their websites. Our subscribers are also given access to this live curation tool, so they can edit AAP content and add their own content in to make it unique to their site. The streams can also be customised to suit the look and feel of the customer's websites or mobile site. And it's in responsive design, so it renders on all platforms. Just a quick look at the curation platform, and time doesn't permit me to go right all the way through it, but the AAP Live News tool is a very simple one to use. It's intuitive, ensuring that technical functions remain at the background. The elements that matter, that is the journalism, the best headlines, the words, the images, the video and the news judgment, that's the clear focus here. This is news in rapid fire, so producers, reporters, photographers and videographers can't be consumed by technical code. So the tool includes basic drag and drop functionality, remembering that this is all about the storytelling, not about the technical code that surrounds it. AAP continues to develop the curation tool in an open source environment, and we make changes based on internal and external feedback. And we're producing 7 live streams daily, and the list keeps growing. So this is a very big strategy for Australian Associated Press going forward. We do live news reports on single big breaking news events. We do a daily sports stream encompassing major stories across the day. We do a daily finance stream taking major stories and market moves across the day. We do a daily entertainment live stream, a daily live political stream covering the events of Parliament and politics in general. We do a daily live stream for New Zealand, our New Zealand customers. And we even do one for our own staff. We have an internal live stream for our employees, and it's a communications tool, which is a really handy one that our employees can snack on all day from their desks or their mobile phones. It's a really good way of communicating with our people. There's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all template with live news streams. These are dynamic beasts that require care and sensitivity. And anything but the appropriate style and tone for the subject matter just won't work in this audience. There is a time to be irreverent, there's a time to be cheeky, there's a time to be straight up and down, and our live streams reflect all of those sentiments. Our live news stream producers are some of AAP's most experienced staff, and that's a telling point because they have quite a burden of responsibility on them as publishers, as live news publishers. So the AAP live news streams are sold on a monthly subscription basis or on an individual or casual one-off sales. They are sold as extra products. They're not bundled in as part of our normal wire subscriptions, and the fees cover the cost of live news producers and a margin. And the way it works at AAP is that every live stream has at least one live news producer working on it exclusively. Sometimes we have more than that, depending on the size of the event. The live streams, though, have given AAP's commercial team more very good options while talking to their customers. And in this extremely challenged environment where customers have sought to reduce basic wire subscriptions and spending, these live wires have been an excellent digital content solution. They've helped us mitigate cuts by traditional customers, and they've actually unlocked new revenue for new customers. One interesting byproduct of our live streams is that our broadcast clients, who are taking the wire just to monitor for source leads and so on, have actually found that these live streams are very useful as a monitoring tool. And of course we sell them that as well. But we've got more on the way. Our news team has been really energised by this development. We see enormous potential in this style of news delivery for our digital customers. At a time when our customers have less resource, this is an innovative solution for them. And we see that the possibilities here are endless. The streams don't just apply to those traditional breaking news organisations. Here are a few that we're pitching to our customers over the next few weeks, and indeed there's one that we're doing right now. But the Daily Tonic is a stream of positive news, good news stories only, triumphs, breakthroughs, things that make you smile, quirky things from the internet. You'll find them all there on the Daily Tonic. Asia Live, which is a daily stream about news throughout Asia, pitched at the Australian government departments, consulates and corporations with the interests, who have interests in the region. That one's being trialled as we speak right now. And we're also offering bespoke live streams for major companies of 25,000 employees or more as an internal communications tool, which has sort of inspired us to do our own internal one. Not that we have 25,000 employees, but we thought just to test it out to ensure that it worked. You know, we've now created a model that would work for the larger organisations, and the streams for them would carry industry news and company information. And what you need to remember is these large organisations have quite massive communications budgets, so we're looking to tap into that. The bespoke live streams for major events such as festivals and conferences, you know, this we see enormous potential there. And in fact, in hindsight, it would have been good to do a live stream for the World Congress here. But these types of streams will be pitched to organisers and their sponsors. So in summary, I'd like to provide this value proposition for the live news streaming. You know, we say they're engaging and they are dynamic. The streams attract audiences who stay with the product for long periods, and we have the traffic analytics to certainly justify that statement. The AAP solution can be customised for individual subscribers, and we see that this is a content solution, and where AAP does the hard work for its customers. They can then add their own content to make it unique for them, but they don't have to invest long hours every day to do so. And advertising opportunities abound in this environment. And together we're working with our customers and developers on the capacity to include small banner ads, possibly within the content streams themselves. The critical factors here are that we must provide advance notice of these events, event coverage for our clients, so they can maximise their promotional and advertising possibilities. And of course, we must ensure that there's a great deal of transparency around the stream's performance analytics. Here are just a number of the live stream URLs. I'm not quite sure whether you'll have time to take any of those down, but if anyone wants to see an example of them, these are all currently active, and these are the shortened URLs you can view at any time and at your leisure. So with that, thank you very much for your attention, and good luck for the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much, Tony. So we now move to our final speaker, Kalaï from the Anadolu News Agency. Kalaï is the Deputy Director General of Anadolu.
Thank you, Kalaïf. First, I would like to thank Chairman and President of Saudi Press Agency, Mr. Abdullah bin Fahd Al Hussein, for his hospitality and making us feel at home rather than guests, and also to SPA crew for hosting this event with excellency, and also the organization committee for bringing all the international participants from all over the world, from different news agencies. And it's my pleasure to be here to share Anadolu Agency's transition, especially in the last 2 years. Basically, in the previous sessions, we heard about the major changes in the news industry. Nick from PwC mentioned that although we do see challenges, the news and media is growing. And there are still opportunities to fetch from this growth. And in the social media session, we heard about still the trust is the key ingredient of the news agencies, and we can still build on that trust and delivering news in a timely manner. And then Steve from Reuters mentioned that data or content commingled with news, photo, and videos also play an important part for news agencies to grow. And also Emmanuel from AFP mentioned that we have to look into innovation and we have to invest into research and development to further grow our news agencies to compete in this digital media world. And I think it was Gary who mentioned that there's a paradigm shift from textual news to much more interactive news, which we have been all talking about. And we have to look more into coming up with digital media, infographics, multimedia, and such. So basically, Anadolu Agency has been looking into all those matters as part of its strategy and try to come up with new products and solutions in its expansion on a global basis. I will have a very brief or short definition or explanation of Anadolu Agency's history. That's my nice looking picture, which I'm skipping. So Anadolu Agency is now 93 years old, founded in 1920 by Atatürk to share the voice of Turkey to the rest of the world. But until 2011, Anadolu Agency was only publishing in one language, which was Turkish. Due to the changes in the world, in the modern world, and the demand from the international markets required us to be more commercial and to expand our capabilities outside of Turkey. So in 2011, we had only 600 Turkish news per day, 600 photos, only one language, as I mentioned, and we had only 584 staff. And in 2013, we are now publishing in 6 languages. And these are all tied to a commercial model, which is equal to 1,500 news per day, 1,200 photos, again on a global level, not only from Turkey, but from the rest of the region, and Europe, Americas, and all different continents. And we are broadcasting in 6 languages, which I will share in the following slides. And we have a staff of about 1,250 and growing. So how did we start this? So in 2011, we set up a 100-year vision, and which is becoming one of the top 5 global international news agencies in the world. So I don't know which will be the agency that will move to 6th, but that's one of our goals by 2020. We went into a global structuring, and we have identified 6 regions. Of course, we have a core competency in Turkey, but other than that, we have been really investing heavily in Middle East and Africa, which I believe is the cradle of news from political point of view, and also from financial point of view, since it's the crossroads of energy markets and financial markets. And we have been expanding in Europe, especially starting with Balkans, and now moving into Americas, which next week we will be opening our office in New York, where I'll be attending, and Pacific, which we would like to work with AAP, of course, with its core strength in Australia, and Kyoto in Japan, and Asia Kokoja with Itartas and RIA Novosti. So in Middle East, we have opened our office this year in April 2013 and started to expand our base in overall Middle East to 12 offices at this point. And when we look at Arabic-speaking countries, we do have about 150 journalists across the world, most of them native speakers, so we do try to come up with news in native textual instead of translation, which we believe that it's a core strength for any news agency instead of doing the translation. And with 150 news journalists, we do deliver about 200 news items per day, which it's again an important piece of our business. And I think it's important for news agencies to look into new markets and to define what the market and players need, either on the digital side, press, or any other kind of environments. Then the BHS means Bosnian, Croatian, and Serbian. We thought that it's an area that needs to be explored more. And again, we have opened our office in May 2013. And in a very short period of time, we reached a number of about 60 to 70 subscribers to our service. And we see that it's growing, and it's a flourishing business. And it's, again, coming to the same point. Content is still the king, as long as you do provide timely and trustful content and news. Still there's a demand in the market, and we see that. Russian, we try to be and provide Russian. We do have about 50 news per day, 50 news items per day, and it's growing. And based on our partnerships and agreements, we look into grow in that parts of the world. English, of course, without English, no one really can do business. And I assume all of our news agencies here has some level of English service. And especially in 2014, we do plan to invest heavily in our English service based on our global structure. And Kurdish, it's a term, or it's a language which has two dialects. And in North Iraq, we do see that there's a significant opportunity for media to hear about the rest of the world, not only regionally, but on an international level. So using our international experience, we do provide Kurdish in two languages, in two dialects in the region. As I mentioned in the beginning of our slides, and one important point which from Jose Antonio mentioned, that in Spain there were a significant number of journalists who got unemployed due to financial crisis and other issues. And we do a similar trend on a global level. And there's a move to digital technologies, digital markets, where journalists need to understand better. And Maha, I think from Google, mentioned that they did have a program which they trained 4,000 journalists to use the technology that Google provides. So what we do at Anadolu Agency, we try to train or select our own journalists by first training them, picking the right people, investing the right human resources with international language capabilities, technology know-how, and understanding of business, rather than just being pure journalists, which I think is the direction that we are going, with some more specialization. And we do have a couple flavors of the training academy that we provide, and it's not only internally, but at the same time, we do provide this training academy to all the news agencies and the journalists in the world, where we had participation from Middle East and Europe. So we have specialization in regular agency journalism, finance, financial news and journalism, diplomacy, which is very important. So you really need to be specialized and understand. And the final one is the war journalism. So we have a very extensive special 2-3 week program where the journalists are gone through all the tough situations that they would go through a war situation. And at the end, of course, we provide a war journalism certificate, and I will share a short video about war journalism. Can you run it? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thanks.
It's technology. Yeah. So they didn't give it to you? Okay, then we'll skip it. Okay, moving to the next slide. So we do have we have an in-house news management system that we have developed in the last 1 year. It's the latest technology based on IPTC standards, and we can deliver the news, photo, multimedia, infographic content through one platform with metadata and keywords interlinked. So when a journalist sends a flash news or a regular news, another photojournalist or a video journalist can provide the content they take after a certain point, and they can link it to the textual news in any language they want, and they can have it translated to a desk or to an editor from any part of the world. So this is an online platform. It can be reached from any kind of smartphone, iPhones, iPads, and such. And we do deliver it in all different technological capabilities, from XMLs to FTP push and pull, and a very great interface. And this has been designed based on the demands of our customer and the demand in the market. And also this is integrated with social media tools such as Facebook and Twitter. So when you publish a news, it does an automated way of cropping the news based on the algorithm that we have defined. And another area that we have been investing is due to the fact that some of the markets are mature and saturated, and we start to look into other industries such as financial markets. And we have designed a finance news terminal or finance terminal where we started to deliver not only news or photo or video content, but at the same time, financial news commingled with stock exchange data, commodities, and all sorts of other type of content, which we started to see gains from the financial markets. And I think for news agencies, it's important to see other industries and try to find out whether there is demand from other industries as a product, as a solution, based on the capabilities that the news agency says. We all have offices in various parts of the world. We can use the human resources or the experience we do have from news to gather other types of data or content. And that's what we have been investing. Okay, so I would like to now share the video for the the terminal. You just run that only one.
The Turkish economy is moving confidently towards its goal of becoming one of the top 10 economies in the world. With its centenary vision and growing regional and global influence as the powerful news agency of a powerful Turkey, Anadolu Agency has set for itself the goal of contributing to the expanding national economy as an international newswire service.
Hayırlı olsun. Ya Allah, Bismillah. Tekrar tebrik ediyorum.
Anadolu Agency has established a news platform for the world of finance. the Finance News Terminal at aafinance.com. Anadolu Agency now also organizes finance desk meetings, which serve as a news-sharing platform exclusive to the Finance Terminal. Through this project, Anadolu Agency aims to represent the Turkish Ministry of Finance, the Central Bank, and Turkstat, making their voice heard in financial markets across the globe. Soon, Anadolu Agency will begin offering the news terminal in other languages, starting with English and Arabic, which will expand Turkey's sphere of influence while making Anadolu Agency the leading data communicator in the country.
Okay, as the video mentioned, we look to invest into finance terminal more as we gain more market share, and we look to expand it on English, in Arabic. It's password protected, and if anyone would be interested, I would be happy to share with our experience and knowledge. A couple other pieces, social media. We have been investing again heavily into social media because we have seen significant customer and client engagement from international markets who do follow our website. We do try to attract them using our social network Twitter accounts, which are automated and semi-automated with integrated algorithms. And as you see in the slides, in 1 year actually, we have just started our Twitter accounts. Just last year, we reached to 254,000, which I think right now around 350,000. But in terms of number of tweets total, which are influential ones, I will say we have the highest number of tweets. And we try to come up with much more social media-oriented solutions for corporates rather than media outlets, where the corporates can leverage the experience we have, the know-how and the technology we have built internally at Anadolu Agency to track the sentiments of the end users that do follow those corporations. One other area we have been again looking into photography and video. We are very soon launching a video and photography platform called Anadolu Images, where we are going to share all sorts of different multimedia content to aggregators or to digital media or any other kind of company or solution providers who would be interested in this. And of course, without partnerships, it's not easy to grow and to build your brand. So for photography, we have partnered with Getty Images, DPA, Contacto, AFP, Scampix, and today actually with ANP, the Dutch news agency, to continue to grow and expand our business. So I think it's again important for news agencies to collaborate more on a global level and to share experience. And we do have general agreements and with various global news agencies around the world, across the world, which we would like to expand. We had an agreement with Saudi Press Agency yesterday, thanks to Mr. Al Hussein, and we had today with Kyoto, again, thanks to Mr. Tomoki. So that's one of the core strengths that I think we will continue to build at Anadolu Agency. So finally, in 2 years, from one language to a limited number of news with a closed vision, now Anadolu Agency is trying to become stronger and open up to the world and try to become one of the top 5 news agencies on an international level. So with this, again, I would like to thank all the audience and the Saudi Press Agency and the organizers for hosting this event.
Thank you. Thank you, Çağatay. It's amazing if you reflect over the last 60 minutes, we've had news from Angola about new technology and a new satellite in 2015, from Australia about the live news service, from Argentina about the new Latin American news agency cooperation and website, from Cuba about a news agency that was formed out of revolution, and then finally from our colleagues at Anadolu, an aspiration to become one of the top 5 news agencies, but not telling us which of the current 5 news agencies are going to lose their place. So we'll watch that with great interest. So because we're short of time, and I think we're due to have lunch in a moment, I think I'll leave it to everybody to ask questions of the panelists over lunch, and just ask you to put your hands together and thank everybody for a fantastic contribution. And just to remind everybody that we're back here at 2:30 for the final session, where we've got some great speakers, including speakers from newspapers and other customers as well. So we'll see you at 2:30. Thank you.
Kalaif, before you leave, Mr. Abdullah wants to give certificates of appreciation to the panelists, to you too. Please, Mr. Abdullah, please wait for
Appreciation from Abdullah. Thank you very much. That's great. Thank you. Your colleague saying he wants to talk about the collaboration. So,
should we go?
Yeah. You've got to have his presentation first.
Okay, take your time. Luis, not you. Luis, here.
Thank you again for your hospitality.
And we should all take you dinner of our ambassadors. Latin state.
Alberto.
Yes.
Thank you.
Gargatai. Do I pronounce your name perfect? Tony.
Thank you for your support.
Tony. The boss.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Thank you.